meeting is being recorded, so if you're not able to stay for the whole time, you will get this later. I'm Mindy Buchanan. I'm the Director of Patient Programs of the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited about this summit. I'm going to introduce you today to Erin Zilloway. She is with Conference Direct, who's helping us work on the conference with our summit. We are so excited to have you guys. We have really listened to the feedback that you guys all gave last year. If you came last year, if this is your first time, we're excited to have you for the first time. We have so much in store for you today. We are thrilled to share many new networking opportunities, including, you probably saw an email recently with our greeters and connectors. So we're going to give a whole section on networking. We're going to talk about how to get through the system, where to find sessions, how to engage with one another, how to visit and engage with all of our sponsors and our exhibitor booths, and the valuable information you can find there as well. And again, this information is this platform is so awesome that it allows you to connect with one another, and it will connect you with other people that have similar interests as you. So you probably noticed on the registration links how you filled out your bits and information about interests, and this will help you connect in that way. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Erin, who will be starting our walkthrough. Erin.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. We're really excited for this conference, and I'm just going to go through a little bit with you regarding the platform, which is SwapCard, and also give you a little bit of information. I'm going to start with system requirements. Just to let you know, when I do go through this, I will have my camera off. You'll be able to see the platform. But for right now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the system requirements that we just recommend for best user experience. One is that we strongly recommend using Google Chrome as your web browser for the conference, as it is the most supported browser for this virtual platform. Also, we recommend that you have Zoom downloaded to your device. This is just to participate in the networking sessions. And if you have Zoom already downloaded, we just make sure that you have the most up-to-date version of the program. And again, that's just so that you can use it. It just works better that way for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and show you when we're ready for the conference, you will be receiving an email that's going to invite you to the virtual conference platform. One thing that this email will be coming from noreply@swapcard.com, and sometimes it does go into your junk folder. So I would definitely look out for this email in your junk folder. It will be sent out tomorrow, and this is what it'll look like. And when you go through this email, you'll see you have an option to watch a sneak peek video, and then you just use this button here to go into the platform. When you this button here is a unique sign-on link for your personal profile within the platform. So it's very important that you do not forward this information at all, because it goes to your personal profile, which you've already put in the information about. And then when you're ready to go in, when you do click into this, right here, it will take you and request that you create a password. Just make sure and create something that's easy for you to remember. When you have created that password, you're ready to access the virtual conference site. And just in case you might have been in a SwapCard account already, maybe you've already done some kind of virtual platform with SwapCard, you can use that same password to get into the account. When you get in, this picture right here, you saw it in the email, you'll see it again here, and you'll also see it in SwapCard to choose it. This is the event that you want to join. And once you click on that, it brings you to this main homepage right here. And I'm going to go through all the different things that you have access to while you're on the platform. These are all buttons up here at the top to all different areas of the platform that you have access to. I'm going to go through all of them. You'll also notice that you have all of those that same information right here. So you have these buttons here, and they're the same buttons that are up there at the top. If you scroll down in the homepage, it goes through some of the exhibitors and also some other good information regarding the conference. And again, some of the same information that we've provided as far as web browser and internet recommendations. So just make sure whenever you're in a page in the website that you do scroll down, because there could be a lot more information than what you just see here at the beginning. When you get into the platform, you'll see on the left-hand side right here, your name and information. If you want, you can upload a profile picture. Another way to get into your profile, so you can edit your profile by hitting edit right there. Another way to get into your profile is right here up on the right-hand side. You'll see this, and you can get at your profile here. You also see the name of the event, and then this right here, that button is the home page, which will always take you back to this main page if you're in another part of the conference. This right here is for messages. If you have any internal messages, you'll see those right here. And this little bell is for any kind of notifications that you might receive on the platform. Some of those notifications might be when you've made a connection, which I'll go into, and also letting you know about different things coming up on the platform. So you'll see a little red highlight here when you've got something waiting for you, either in your messages or in your notifications. But right now, let's go through some information about your profile. So again, you can just right here, you can click edit, and this takes you to your profile. You can edit your profile. You can edit, again, just by hitting this little edit button. You can add in your picture. You can change your name, add in company. You can just keep moving forward throughout all the different items here, adding in a biography, any ribbons. The ribbons here are different ideas on how you would like to be kind of categorized, or just to kind of let people know like what you're interested in when you're here. These ribbons, you can pick as many as you want. And something that's very interesting about the SwapCard platform is there's a lot of AI. We'll show that in a few minutes. I'm just going to go ahead right now and pick friend or family for me. You can choose as many as you'd like. And you'll see that later the platform will actually use that information to kind of recommend to you not only sessions that you should go to, but maybe other people that you can connect with that have that same interests. Then you can keep going on. You can add in your social network. You can add in any contact details that you'd like to, or you don't have to. Again, any kind of company. And then when you're done, you can edit that same information right here. So you can go down like I showed you and just kind of edit right from that same area. So either way. And then, as I mentioned, you can edit it from right up here. So you can right up in here, you could go into my profile, which is where we are now. Then you could go into my contacts, which would list different contacts that you have. It would give you, you can search through your contacts. You can export them and download them if you'd like. Then it also has the settings tab, which I'm going to go through a little bit, which can just obviously just goes through the settings, but these are settings not only for your profile, but also how you experience the SwapCard platform, your language preference, display my status. So this lets you know if people are online. If you're online, you have a little green dot right there next to your name, and that'll show up all throughout the platform. And it's good if you want to be able to network with other people. It's good to leave that on, and then people can tell when you're on the platform, and they can reach out to you, and that's a great way to network. You can also, decide how you want to get your notifications, if you want to have them or not, if you need to change your password or your email address. Those are all under settings right there. And then you can go back to my profile. So you can see there's just various ways to get around in through your profile. And we do recommend you doing that, again, because the more information that you put into your profile, the more that you're going to get back out of the platform. Now, just in case, I'm going to go to the home page. Just in case when we're at the homepage, again, you have all these different things. I want to show you how you can interact with other attendees. So everybody is going to fall under the attendees. And if you hit that attendees button, it brings up all the different attendees. And you can see some people already have put their profile pictures in and maybe have some more information. And then you can see right up here where it says the AI matches. So based on some of the information I've already put in, or maybe based on some of the information that they've seen me clicking around in, there are going to be recommendations here. And again, this is just a great way to network with people that that might have similar interests. If you just don't want to network at all, if you're just not uncomfortable sharing any kind of information, this right here is where you can change your visibility. So you can turn this off right here, and then nobody will see you. You will not show up on the attendees page. You can still attend all these sessions. You can still go ahead and move around, but you just, nobody else will be able to see your profile picture or any of your information. But again, if you connect that, you're just going to have a little bit more option to be visible. And just so you know that they're in the original registration process, if you did comment that you did not want to have that information public, then you have already been changed to not visible. But at any point, if you do decide you want to get a little bit more out of the platform, you just come right over here and then again, change it to visible. And this is under the attendees section. It's not under the settings, but it is under the attendees section. So we do have up here, we have the home we've already been through. We've been through the attendees. I'm going to kind of skip around. I'm going to go to the agenda. This is the main agenda. And you can see for both dates up here, you can kind of scroll through and see all the different information. When you click into an agenda item, you'll get more. So I'm going to click into this virtual support room help desk. And this is a great time for me to highlight here that we do have a help desk. We do have live support available for you during the conference. And you know what, this gives me a great opportunity too to show you that the time zone is to your own time zone. So the conference is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central. I'm in Eastern time, so this will automatically adjust to your time schedule. So if you're Pacific, it will automatically adjust to that. But when you come into an agenda item, you'll see that you'll have information about the agenda item. So for here at the help desk, we've provided, again, some information, some important tech tips, things like that can help you. Maybe an attendee how-to guide that you can download if you want to take a look at that. And then also some additional links here, a resource center, another link to the attendee guide, and then some frequently asked questions. And these links will take you right out to get that information. And then finally, we do have this link for live support. And again, this is a Zoom room. You will have somebody behind in that Zoom room, actually it will be me, who will be here to support you. The great thing about the Zoom room is then you can maybe share your screen if you're having difficulty, and I can kind of, help you through that way. So, so it is important to have Zoom downloaded, not only for the networking, but also to be able to utilize this live support, which would come in handy. So that's the full agenda. And again, you'll see you can go into all these different agenda items. You can filter through the agenda. You can search by a keyword. You can filter based on the type. Like if you want to just go check out what's the next networking event or a plenary, you can check on different topics here. So this is great. You can use this right here to be able to filter through of what you want to see in the agenda. And again, you've got some AI matches right over here. It'll show you some different ideas on what they think you might like based on what you've already signed up for. And that brings me to my event, because when you registered, you did go ahead and select what you might have been interested in. So when you get to my agenda, this is going to be personal to you. Everybody will be registered for the plenaries. So all the plenaries will be in your agenda. But for the different breakout sessions, that will be based on what you said you were interested in. And that's what you'll find here. So the agenda is the full agenda. It will list every session that is available to you. So just in case you change your mind, or maybe you chose, I haven't decided yet when you registered, you can go through and find what you're interested in. And then if you do find something else you're interested in that maybe you didn't sign up for originally, and you do want to add it to my event, you would just hit this register button right here. And all that's going to do is add that to my event, just to make it a little bit easier to find it when you're ready for that event. And again, everything that you have already selected, including all the plenaries, are under that. But if you want to add maybe networking sessions, my event would be specific to what you've already registered for. The agenda would have all of the sessions. Now, when we get into an agenda session, like I'm going to specifically look here at the first session, which is the welcome, and it's a plenary session. Once you get in here, the day of the event, when you're in your agenda and you're ready to go to a session, you would click in here and you'll see this right here. Now, for the help desk, I showed you that there was a link to ask for help. But for these sessions, the session is actually going to happen right here in the platform. So you will see a countdown clock. That'll tell you when the session will start. You can see here it's streaming will start at a certain time. Again, this will be your time zone. And then again, like we said, the speakers will be listed, information about it. Again, there's some suggestions here for the AI, any of the other attendees that have registered. And then the other thing we have here is a live discussion. This live discussion is to facilitate, again, networking, maybe asking questions within this particular session. So this live discussion is for this particular session. And you can just write a message in here to chat. Or if you have a question, we recommend you writing that in the question tab. And the reason is that once you put a question in here, other individuals have an option to, let's say, upvote it, right? So if somebody else has the same question and they've seen your question, they can just click on it right here. And now they know, oh, there's somebody else that's interested in that same thing. All the questions will show up in this chat box. So if you want to, and you forget, or for some reason, you can put a question in the chat box, just know it's not going to have that same capability to upvote it if you do put that in there. Now, once the session starts, you will see an option to go full screen on this, and you will be able to still maneuver around the platform if you'd like. Another tab you see here is, let me see, the speakers tab, which I will go into really quickly and just show you. This just takes it from all attendees to those that are speakers. So this is just a list of all the different speakers. And again, you can search through them if you want to find somebody in particular, and you could go in and then it would show you what they're going to be speaking at. And then if you were interested in them, you could add just by clicking this right here, you could add their session to your personal agenda. So that's another great way to kind of develop your agenda if you haven't already decided on that. Next, I'm going to go through the exhibitors. You can see we have an exhibitor page and sponsors and all of these listed right here. We will have specific times during the day that we do recommend going in and visiting the exhibitors and taking a look at their pages. And you will see those under the agenda item as coffee breaks. I'm going to go in here and just show you once you get in there. You will see, again, right away, you see how this AI is working for you and going to recommend to you other exhibitors that you might be interested in. But when you get to an exhibitor booth, you might see that you have a chat box here because there might be an exhibitor that would be willing to chat and might be live sitting in the box and wanting to network with you. But when you're in here, take a look at all the different information that you would find on an exhibitor booth. You can bookmark it, which just means you're really interested. You might want to go back later. You can look at any sessions that they have, if they have any documents. Look at all these different documents that you can download and take a look at. And all you would do is just press on that link and it would take you right to it. It shows, here's more, the information flyer, upcoming events, all that you can go take a look at. Then it would also show you maybe the team that's here. And you can tell that Leslie, who is on that team, is actually online right now because she's got the little green dot next to her. So you would be able to connect to Leslie as being part of that team. And I'm going to go through networking in a little bit more detail. But right now, let's have somebody tell us a little bit more about the exhibitors and how we can take advantage of that.
Great. Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining this session to learn a little bit more about how to navigate through. We're so pleased to have you here. So we're really excited this year. We have a fantastic group of exhibitors, as you saw. Erin, do you mind clicking on the exhibitor list one more time? So you can see here, we have a wonderful list of very diverse group of exhibitors that are available to you. We want to thank our sponsors for being a part of this. They have done so much wonderful things in order to make this possible. We really couldn't do it without them. And we encourage you when you are talking to them to thank them as well for making this event possible. A couple of things that you can do when you're in the different exhibitor booths, and thank you, Erin, for kind of walking that through, to know that the exhibitors can provide you education. So our exhibitors, whether they are pharmaceutical companies or organizational partners, they have lots of educational materials. As you saw when Erin scrolled down, you saw the different materials that were available on our booth. Well, similarly, on all of their booths, you'll find really relevant materials to you. So we encourage you to take a moment during the break times, which we'll identify and kind of walk through and see what kind of resources there are available for you. In addition, you'll be able to get updates on research, updates on clinical trials. You'll be able to find out about more potentially relevant treatments that are available for you. You'll be able to learn about some financial resources and advocacy resources, learn how to potentially talk to one of your legislators. There's lots of tips and tricks in there, as well as learning more information on rare diseases. So there's just a whole plethora of things you can do by engaging with our exhibitor booths, and we encourage you to do so. A couple of things to note: if you are thinking about how do I get involved with the exhibit booths, you can see on the side there they do list who you might like and what you might want to go into. But you can learn about clinical trials and treatment options by visiting Zentria's booth, or Boehringer Ingelheim's booth, or aTyre's booth, or the OFEV booth. And so we encourage you to visit each of those and learn a little bit more about clinical trials and treatment options. We also want to say thank you to Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals for their support of this event. They do not have a booth. However, you will be able to see them on certain sessions and be able to click out to learn more from their website. We'd also like to recognize our FSR WASOG Centers of Excellence. We have 3 FSR WASOG Centers of Excellence that are participating in this year's event. You can click on these booths to learn more about what they have to offer. This includes the Medical University of South Carolina, the Virginia Commonwealth University, and the University of Alabama, Birmingham. So you can go in, learn what kind of things they have going on. They may potentially have clinical trials available for you. They may be able to share some additional resources about how to engage with your physicians. So you want to click on each booth to learn a little bit more about them. To get resources about mental health, legislative advocacy, disease management, and finding tips for other partners, we encourage you to look at our partner booths. Our partners include the American Lung Association, the European Lung Foundation, Every Life Foundation, Global Genes, Mental Health America, Needy Meds, and the National Organization for Rare Diseases. And there are going to be wonderful resources on each of these pages, so do take a few moments to look those through. Sponsors and partners want to hear from you because they're passionate about sarcoidosis too. They're passionate about making life better for you, and they want to hear how they may be able to do that better. So make sure when you are in the booth that you do chat if there is a chat available. If not, they list in the email that you can send an email to in order to contact them. So do engage directly with the booths. Let them know questions that you have. Let them know resources that you wish were available to learn more about things that they have. And as I mentioned, they have lots and lots of resources available to you. One other thing I want to let you know about, which is super exciting with regard to our exhibitors, is we do have a resource raffle, we're calling it. This is an opportunity for you to get an FSR swag bag just by going to visit the exhibitors and engaging with the exhibitors. During this period, FSR's virtual summit platform, which is open June 8th through the 13th, you'll have the chance to be entered into this raffle. Every time you visit one of the virtual exhibitor booths and discover all the different tools and tricks they have, you'll be entered into the booth. This includes clicking on the booth, going in the link on the booth, identifying or bookmarking the booth, chatting with the booth representative, downloading documents. Each of those actions will put you into the raffle. So you want to do as many of them as you can. We also have a bonus round for when we have those specific events during our agenda that are specifically available for engaging with our sponsors. So that's Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time, and this will be on the website. 12 to 1 Central Time, 2:15 to 2:50 Central Time. And on Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time, 12 to 1 Central Time, and 3:30 3 to 3:30 Central Time. So every single click, there will be 5 winners, which will be announced on June 13th after the summit. So definitely enroll. I'm going to pass it back to you now, Erin. Thank you.
Right, thank you. How exciting. I just love games. It always makes it so much more fun when you're on a platform and cannot be in person. So I talked a little bit about the attendees and about networking or visibility and everything and how you can find somebody. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail now about networking and how you can connect with people and the different options to talk to people and chat and different things like that while you're in there. You did see the one with the agenda. When you're in an actual agenda, you can ask questions through that chat box. We do have chat boards right here, which there's all different subjects in here that you can go into if you click. So go into the chat board and then actually go into that session, this particular board. You'll see the title will change at the top, and then you can just write a message in here and chat with other people in this board. So you just go through these. You'll see there's a lot of different topics right here that you can go through and start having conversations with some of your other, with some of the other attendees. When you do want, maybe you see somebody specifically on a chat board and you're like, you know what, I really have a lot of connection. I really have a lot of the same information with them, or maybe the AI matches as somebody that you'd like to be interested in. You can go into the attendee actual profile, and you can try and connect with that person. You would need to send a connection request. So prior to being a connection request, you can see some very basic information about individuals, but really to get more information on them, you would need to send them a connection request. And then once you do have that connection request, you'll see a list of your connections down here, and you'll see, Mindy, is it okay if I go in and use you as my example?
Absolutely.
All right, since we're already connected. So Mindy and I are connected. So you can see now we have our little chat that we've gone back and forth. You can even do video calling if you'd like. You can, I've got a lot more information here on Mindy on what she's interested in. Now I can see all that other information she provided, including her social media, maybe what her schedule is. So we can check out in the booth together. And again, you can network right here and send test messages back to each other. If you expand this right here, again, this just shows, this is all of your different chats with different people. It shows, again, here's Mindy. I can, this is the test string that we have already. And here right there is where I can do a video call. So if I wanted to, and Mindy was online, and I would know by the green dot, then I can just start that video call, and we can just have our own little video call session right here, just the two of us. And there we go. What a great example. I don't have my video on. That would be a little bit scary to see it twice, but thank you for that. There's Mindy. All right, so we're having a video call. Thank you for that. All right, and then kind of like what we talked about before, if you're on this page and you're like, shoot, how do I get back to go to my agenda now? You know, now that we've chatted and it's been a break time, I want to go see my next session. Don't forget, you can always use this little home button right there to get you back to this main home page, which will take you to all the different options that you have. Just go into My Event, that's your personal schedule, and then scroll down to where you want to be.
Erin, thank you so much for this. Could we go quickly back to the attendee section, to the connection section, and show folks a little slower how they get to that opportunity to do the video chats one-on-one?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
So when you go in, again, you do have to be connected to somebody when you do it. So it would have to be one of your connections. You wouldn't be able to video chat with just anybody on this screen. It would have to be one of your connections, which again, you'll see right here on the right-hand side. And when you go in and you click on it, and then you'll see the information on the person, and then you'll see this screen that says Talk to Mindy. If you want to do that, do a video chat or do some kind of messaging, you can just pop open this screen by this little red button right here. That's going to take it into your full communication tool right here. This shows you pretty much everybody that you've been having messages with on the side, so you can pop into one of the other messages if you wanted as well. You can write a message right here. You could do that video call we just showed you. You can read through here. You can go back to just the profile. You can create a group if other people that you had connections with were fine. And then you can even just hide this discussion if you wanted to. So there's all different options right here, but that is from going into the profile is where you start, and you see right there when it says talk to, that's where you can get up to do your communications and networking.
Thank you, Erin. And if you hit the home button and you click on the little message button at the top, you actually go right back into that.
You can. Yeah. And then Mindy, why don't you send me just a quick a message real quick, if you don't mind, just sending me like a quick text, just a text, like test message. And you'll see when you do have a test message, oh, we've got our sponsors up. When you do have a test message, you'll see right there, I kind of talked about that earlier, you'll have a notification. So when you come in, you'll see this notification right here that you have a message. And then there it is. There's my message from Mindy. And again, then you could go through and talk to whoever else you wanted to, but there it was. Great, thank you. And then the same thing with any notifications, you would see a notification, just that little one right there. And that notification may be, again, that you've got a connection request, or maybe that something else is coming up that day. And then if, again, at this point, if you want to get back to your agenda, just go hit that home button. That'll always take you right back to that main page.
Thank you, Erin. We did have a question asking if we could show folks what it looks like when someone accepts a connection. So we do have a couple folks like Kathy, who you may not be connected with already, who is on. That's
sure.
possible.
So Kathy, do you want to go ahead and request a connection request with me then, please? Are you online?
Sure.
Awesome. And there it is. Kathy wants to connect with me. So there's my connection request. And I feel like it would come right here under notifications. I was in it. There it is. Kathy wants to connect with me. So then you can make the decision to yes, be connected, or no, you do not want to be connected. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because Kathy's a great girl. And so now we're connected. So now when I go in, I can see Kathy. I can see that she's all the information that she provided in here, that she and I are friends with Mindy together, that she is part of this exhibit booth. And now I can talk to Kathy if I want. We can write messages together. We can do the video chat just like we did before. And if I'm talking to Kathy and I want to go back and say something to Mindy, I can do that. Like, hey, Mindy, let's do a group. And then we can create groups and all that kind of stuff. But that's where you'll see it. Right up here, your messages, but also you'll get those notification requests. So there's somebody I have not connected to.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah, you're welcome. So do we have any other specific questions on the site? All right, well, before I turn it back to the FSR staff, I am just going to give you a little bit of background on what's going to happen after the event. That's always a really popular question. So now we've had this great event. We've been here for 2 days. What's next? What can I do? What if I got sick and I couldn't make Sunday? Well, we are going to have the videos up inside the platform for 2 months. This platform will be active. So what you'll do is after the session, if for some reason you missed this, once this session is over, instead of seeing this sign right here, you're actually going to see the beginning of the video, and you would be able to hit play and be able to watch the video of any of the sessions that were recorded that we've put onto this platform. So those recordings will be available. The live discussion, you really won't, obviously you won't be able to do that after the fact because it wouldn't be live anymore, but we are going to go ahead and download the information from those and have those listed out here as either a file or a link that you can go to so that you can see what maybe some of the questions were that people were talking about and chatting about. So you are going to be able to see the chats, but just not really participate, obviously, since it's closed. Same thing with the chat boards, right? So these are meant to be live and networking once you're in the event and the days of the event. But once it's over, we're going to, you know, kind of take this down, but you will be able to go and find that information and kind of scroll through it. And be able to read through and get some of the information that you might have missed. Maybe you were busy being in sessions or being in a different chat box. So this information will be available to you afterwards, but the engagement won't be there. Now, you are still able to engage with people even after the event. So say you come in June and you just decided, like, I wanted to watch this one more thing, or I had a couple questions I'm going to look at. Again, you can see here, it shows you who is online. And if you see somebody that's online, you can just go ahead and if you've got a connection with them, you can go ahead and start messaging them, even if it is way into June. So you do have that option to network even after the event. And the final thing that will be available after the event on every single agenda will be the actual presentation too. So there will be a file here where you can download maybe the PowerPoint or whatever that presentation was after the event. All right, and I do think that FSR has some information for you about after the event and completing surveys. And if there's no other questions, then I will pass it over to Mindy.
Thank you, Erin. Does anyone have any questions for Erin about the moving around the platform? Want us to revisit anything that we showed so far? It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, and you know what we'll do? We are recording this, so maybe there's a way we can post this even like on the help desk or something. We'll definitely have resources for you. And then just don't forget that when you are during the event, you will have that live help desk. And even before the event, you can email at conferencedirect.com. That email will be provided to you as well to be able to go and get any assistance.
Yeah, thank you, Erin. While you still have your booth, while you still have your shared screen up, I do want to direct people's attention to, we do have our video library. So one of the great reasons that this platform is so awesome is that we have access also to this video library. This is a specially curated list of our YouTube webinars from our wellness session and our education sessions that we've hosted over the last year. And so if you know, one of the great things is that you actually, as someone who's registered right now, you get access to this beginning tomorrow morning. So the things that are not going to be available are the chat boards and the live discussions, and those will not be live until June 12th. But you have access to everything else inside this platform. And like Tricia mentioned, you also have access to the exhibitors. And even though you're not getting double points for it, if you click on anything inside the exhibitor center, that will count toward your entry into the raffle. So a great opportunity is to get in there beginning tomorrow, get used to the system. I will say that it's a really easy system to get used to and get familiarized with, but being in it and just moving around it and just clicking, you can't go wrong inside the system. You can't change anything or do anything crazy to it. So feel free to kind of click around as many places as you want. Get comfortable knowing where you want to go. Review your event, the My Event button, to make sure that all the sessions that you want to go to are there. Change your sessions out, pick new sessions. There's just so much you can do, and you can actually start your connections. So those of you who got an email from us about our connectors and greeters, those folks will be on the platform beginning tomorrow all the way through the summit, and they're going to be connecting to you. So we have our patient advocates and our patient navigators who are going to be out and about inside the system, and they're going to be sending you those connection requests. Just like Erin got from Kathy today, you're going to start seeing those pop up from our various greeters and connectors, whose job it is to connect with you and to check about how your day is going and what's going on and have you seen all these things. And those folks will also be monitoring some of the chat boards, and they're also going to be in the coffee break. And so I wanted to spend a quick second on the coffee break because that is a little bit different. It is part of the agenda, and the coffee break is an open Zoom room all day long. What that means is that we have patient advocates and patient navigators hosting this session all day long. Each of them are assigned to an hour. You can see their names there and what time they'll be there. Some of them are going to be, you're going to see them in our providers as patient panel. You're going to see them in our speakers bureau panel, and you're going to see them in the chat boards. And you're also going to see them as connectors and greeters. So they're doing all of the fun work that we have going on in the summit. And if you want to connect with them and drop in on any of the coffee break times. You can do that. It's open all day, whether a session is going on or not. The nice thing is, and I think Erin mentioned this, once you start a session and you navigate away from that page, that session will follow you around in a little video bubble. So it's quite nice. You can actually navigate to different parts of the platform and keep your session going at the same time. So that's a really super cool feature that we love about this platform. And it also encourages or makes it possible to do a lot more networking in the space. Because imagine if you're networking a bit and then you are both watching a session and it's like you're actually there together watching that session. And it's a really cool feature of this platform. So I want to draw your attention to that. Also, just to note that beginning tomorrow, you will have access to the platform to poke around and go everywhere you want to go. But the chat boards and the live discussion boards at each session are not going to be live until June 12th. Similarly, at the end of the day on June 13th, the chat boards will go away and you'll get an access to a link so you can see what people said in the chat boards, but you can no longer add comments to the chat boards. Same with the discussion links for the individual sessions. You'll be able to see what people were asking through clicking on a link, but you're not going to be able to add anything there. A good point is, we've given a lot of thought to this question and answer session that we are hosting on Sunday, where some of our amazing world-renowned experts are there to answer your questions. You all got an email from me about submitting your questions ahead of time if you'd like to. You can also wait and show up on the day of the event and submit your questions live. You can do both things. So that particular session is great because it is just a Q&A question. I want to remind folks that the physicians are not able to answer your direct medical question, like your direct questions about your particular case. They're not going to be giving medical advice. So please remember to try to keep your questions as broad as possible so that most of the audience can get as much as you get out of that question. I know that can be tough and everybody's experience is totally different. But just keep that in mind when you're submitting your question. Again, if someone else asks a question, you're like, oh, that applies to me too. You can like that question with a thumbs up inside the discussion board. So just a reminder on that, it's a very unique session in that it's almost an hour long. It's 50 minutes of Q&A. So there's not a presentation portion, it's straight Q&A. And we'll begin with the questions that are submitted through that survey link that I sent you earlier. So I hope I've touched on everything. Folks, if other panelists that I have on here, if I've forgotten something, please chime in. Because it's a lot. I imagine you guys are looking at this, you're probably going to want to watch this video again. And we will be sending it out to you this afternoon. So you can feel free to watch it as many times as you want. And I think that's it. Erin or any of the other panelists on with me, do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. Just looking forward to a successful event. And hopefully I don't see anybody in the help desk, but I'll be there if you need me.
Yes.
Thank you so
the
much.
survey
We're
at
so
the end.
excited.
I almost forgot that, guys. Okay, so where I had started with the Q&A section. Now, FSR, as you know, and those of you who know me know how much I love surveys, but FSR really relies on you guys completing the survey at the end of the event. Everything you see here today, everything that we're so excited about today for this summit is directly related to the feedback that we got from last year's events. Our goal is to continue to make relevant and responsive programming for you and your family members and your friends. And you giving us your feedback is part of that process. The Q&A session came directly from you guys saying, we want more time, we want more questions, we want a whole session on Q&A. The networking opportunities that we've found in this platform that came directly from your feedback, asking for more opportunities to feel like you can connect with others inside the platform. Getting access to the event early, that also came from your feedback. We got a lot of requests to get early access so people could get used to it, and we were able to do it this year. So your feedback truly counts. And we will be sending out a survey at the end of the day on Sunday. And I know you guys are all going to be tired because and excited about having been to the summit. But we really encourage you to take the time to complete that survey. And I promise I will make it as short as possible. But we really do want your feedback because it allows us to continue to make really important decisions about how to make our programming better, and find out what you loved about something so we can do more of that. So hopefully you guys complete that survey. Don't forget. And does anyone have any other questions or anything else to add? For real this time. Okay. Great. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you have any additional questions, you guys all have my email, mindy@stopsarcoidosis.org. If you have any trouble getting into the system, we will be sending out an email that you can contact with system help. And then again, once you're inside the system, the help desk will be there and they will be live on the day of with an open Zoom room for you to get help. And we look forward to seeing you guys all soon inside the platform. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Have a great day.